Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Well-Appointed Mystic, and today I'm playing along with Dawn Michelle's loot drop tag for the tarot community. I was completely tickled by this. I've been reading a book called Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is basically a Dungeons and Dragons style story about a guy who in real life basically gets transported into a real life D&D scenario, and he is frequently looking for loot drops, particularly because when he ended up in this world he did not have any shoes, and so all he really wants is shoes, which, you know, so it's like the first thing I thought when we were talking about this, I was talking to my husband about it, was you know, like if he were in a loot drop, the thing that he would drop is his Adidas shell toe sneakers, and that hopefully Dungeon Crawler Carl would find them. But anyway, all of that to say, I have a list. I thought that this was a really fun idea, and 100% like how I roll. So I'm going to start with some personal items, and then I will work my way up to more tarot related types of things. So first up, this is the thing that people will joke about me all the time. I am seldom seen without at least 3 bobby pins in my hair, sometimes more, sometimes less. Sometimes I find them like 2 days later that I didn't find them. I kind of have a lot of hair. So there's almost always bobby pins. Sometimes there's a rubber band around my wrist, but always. And I love red lipstick. Love it, love it, love it. And this is one of my favorites. This is from Besame Cosmetics. This was from their Agent Carter collection. Yes, I'm a huge Agent Carter nerd. If you know anything about me and how much I love all things vintage, then and superhero, then you totally get it. But this is the Besame Agent Carter, and from Agent Carter is called Sweet Dreams because it's supposed to contain a little bit of a sleeping agent. So you put it on and then you kiss someone and it knocks them out. But actually it's their, Besame sells the same color in their regular line, and it is red velvet. So yes, I always have red lipstick, often multiple tubes of lipstick, lip gloss, lip tint. But yes, my lips tend to be perpetually reddish because naturally they are exactly the same color as the rest of my face, so I don't look like I have any lips. So the next thing, and I didn't mean to actually bring my car keys, but this was just a really good example that if I were to be loot dropped, there would be an air tag somewhere, because every bag I have has an air tag in it. My keys have an air tag because I'm perpetually misplacing things. I think it's like I get easily distracted and I just set stuff down. So this is the key to my Mini Cooper, in case you were curious. Yes, so I used to have, I've tried all the other brands, but they all started charging subscription fees. So I went with Apple's AirTags. While they are more expensive, they do not charge a monthly fee, and I'm already so embedded in Apple culture that I'm like, fine, I will do that too. So, personal side. Oh, I'm an asthmatic. If you loot drop me, there would be one of these somewhere. So this is an inhaler. I don't need it a lot, but when I do, I need to have it handy. Otherwise, I basically cough until I almost throw up, which is not pleasant. Certainly not when you're out in public or exercising or doing anything else. So yeah, and the terrible thing, this one's way out of date. So I don't use them a lot. I should probably replace this one. It's a little expired. Okay, one more personal item. I'm sorry about the noise. I will set it down and not handle it. But I almost always have some sort of granola bar or snack bar. I really like Belvitas because I am a vegan and I often travel places where there are not a lot of things for me to eat. So if I get hungry, I can't just roll into a Quick Trip or a 7-Eleven and find something that I can eat. So I just always keep a Belvita, and then it's something that I can eat and it's got some protein in it, and so I don't necessarily like bonk from the sugar. So sorry about the noise. Okay, on to a few things that probably feel more tarot witchy kind of related, and none of this is going to strike anyone by surprise, but we'll do this first. So this is my Kindle. I don't like that I am in the Amazon ecosystem, but mostly I check books out from the library and then download them to my Kindle, so I'm not actually buying a lot of stuff. This Kindle device is like 7 years old. It still holds a charge, which is great. It's everything in my life is covered in cat hair. I apologize about that. But yeah, so I almost always have a book with me. If I don't have my Kindle, I will pull up the app on my phone and read Everand, or read from the Libby or the Apple bookstore if I have to, or whatever. But I'm always reading, which I guess is a good thing, maybe? I don't know. Okay, on to the stuff you guys really want to see. So I've shown these a bunch of times before, but this will just get into it. But if I got loot dropped, there would definitely be what I refer to as emotional support notebooks and pens. So this is sort of like, I literally carry this crap around with me every day at the house. And then if I'm going anywhere for a long amount, like any length of time, I will pack a larger bag and take at least one or two of these items with me. So what we have here is first my Galen. I'm gonna move this other stuff out of the way for a minute. So my Galen 3-pen case, which always has more than 3 pens in it. I've had it since I don't know when, but it's got ink stains. It's all roughed up. This is the Crazy Horse Leather color, in case you're curious. And inside I have at least 3, usually 5 pens in here, because I just stick one. My pens are small, so I can put more in here than most people, but sometimes I'll just have like a rollerball or ballpoint in here, or a pencil. But yeah, so there's always a lot of pens in here. These are my favorites. I believe I've talked about these before, but if not, holler, and I would be more than happy to do a deep dive over my favorite pens, because I'm a total nerd and I love pens. So anyway, so this goes with me pretty much everywhere. This is my planner journal, which I've shown a bunch. I can certainly put links to some of the other videos, but it is a B6 size Stology that is blowing up inside of a leather cover, and then I always have a pen attached to it. There's a pen loop here, and this is the pen that's been traveling around with it lately. So yeah, for the record, this is a Sailor Pro color that I have modified the nib to be a 21 karat gold nib. This is not something most people have the means or access to do, but this is basically the same size as a 1911, and if you were to get a full-size 1911 from Sailor, it would come with a 21 karat gold nib. So if that's something you're interested in. This particular color of material though, this clear with the gold sparkle, I think I've only ever seen in this Pro color. So that said, I realize that's kind of covered it. So the next are my other notebooks that I've been working in. This one has been my Mermaid Magic project book, which usually just gets tucked into my other book. And then this is my other notebook that I've been using as a grimoire, so to speak. And inside of, this is a Creeping Moon, which I sell in my shop, link down below. But yeah, so 1, 2, or all of these notebooks would be in my loot drop. This is my Philosopher's Guild Alchemy bag with my little Hello Kitty in boxing gloves, and she has a little pink eye. She doesn't have a black eye, she has a pink eye, that I've attached to the zipper pull. I realize it does not match at all, but she's always lived on, like ever since I got her, she's always lived on whatever zipper pouch I have for my various pens and other essentials. So in this, I keep pens I don't care if they get banged around and bunched together. So these are all like mild liners and Pentel sign brushes and all the things that I talk about in my monthly Plan With Me videos, which are on my other channel, Well Appointed Desk, if you are curious. But yeah, so that kind of thing is in here. I've got a ruler, some glue, an eraser, various things. So if somebody removed me from a video game, they would get a bag full of markers and glue sticks. I'm sure they would be thrilled. Okay, so on to the tarot-ish part of this. So this is what I've been using as my sort of portable tarot deck. This is a little tin that I got. I believe there had been a clock, like a little travel clock from Vespa that a friend got for me when they were in Italy. But the tin was perfect to keep one of the teeny tiny mini versions of the Everyday Witch tarot in here. Because I have been looking for a tin to put these in for ages. They've been in a velvet bag for a long time. But so this is my my emergency tarot reading deck. It lives in here along with an assortment of cat hair, a pendulum, some crystals, my bluebird of happiness, which was actually part of a collection that I did when I was working at Victorian Trading Company. I did the packaging for the bluebird of happiness. And then we also made a bunch of other little creatures like this. I think we ended up making a crow for Halloween. I don't know if it ever got manufactured because sadly, they're no longer in business. So, but I have my coin from, I believe this came with the Citadel box set, the Citadel Oracle, and this teeny tiny piece of toast, the panda toast. This came from one of those little Japanese sets that all the Blythe collectors are crazy about. I can't even remember what the collection is called, but oh, Rement, that's what it's called, the Rement toys. So they were like box sets of like little tiny 1/6 size furniture and various bits and pieces. So they were perfectly sized for like Blythe dolls and other toys like that. And sorry about that. My cat decided to leap from one side of a piece of furniture to the table, take my water bottle down with it, and then stand in the middle of this. So I had to stop the video and run him out. So he's being a butthead, I apologize. So anyway, okay, so this is a little tiny piece of panda toast from a Rement set, which is a Japanese toy company that makes 1/6 size like home decor things. So they make furniture and like little accessories for dolls. But this piece of toast, I was doing some sort of photo shoot with one of my dolls years and years ago, and this piece of toast somehow got separated from whatever else I was like. I think I had them out having a picnic or whatever, so they had toast and jam and all that kind of stuff, and somehow this piece of toast vanished and I couldn't find it, and I was really upset about it. And 1 year later it showed up on my like I have like little stepping stones around the side of my house, and it was sitting in the middle of a stepping stone. So I think one of the squirrels in my neighborhood took it, realized it wasn't anything that they could use because it's all dinged up and everything now, and brought it back and brought me a little present. So the toast returned. So I keep it as sort of a good luck charm. I realized that was a really long story and probably no one cares about it, but I thought I would tell it anyway. So anyway, this is a case where I finally found a container that fit this deck, and obviously there's a little bit of wiggle room, but it fits perfectly. And so since I do travel quite a bit, this has been sort of the case that I keep like in my bag, and I take it with me if I go out in case anybody wants me to read their cards for them. So the last thing is that chances are some other mini tarot deck would be on my person were I to escape this mortal coil in a video game, and it would be one of these, probably one of these 3 decks. I know not everybody loves, like there's a lot of like, I don't want to say haters, but a lot of people who are just like, no, I don't need the Smith Waite, you know, the Centennial deck, like, you know, it's been done. But like, if I need a comfort, like legitimately, if I need a comfort deck, this is the deck that I always turn to. I think part of it is I'm so familiar with it. The readings are so clear. And this particular deck feels so nice in my hands. You know, it's hard not to go back to it over and over again. So it's easy for me to shuffle. Like when I travel to like pen shows and stuff, I usually take this deck because if anybody wants a card reading, they're usually pretty comfortable with seeing this because it's things that they've seen before. I mean, I realize it's pretty esoteric, but I would probably have this with me. And if it wasn't this deck, it would be one of these two, just depending on the season. Like as we're getting closer to Halloween, it might be this Halloween tarot, which I tend to use in the months of like September, October, November, probably well into December, to be honest, because it does, you know, while it has a very Halloween specific theme, it's also, you know, there's lots of leaves and, you know, a scarecrow and things like that also just feel very fall. So I really like this deck as well. And I was surprised. I wasn't expecting to like the Halloween tarot because it's a little cutesy. It's not super spooky necessarily, but it becomes a fairly potent reader for me. Like it does not, for me anyway, it pulls no punches. Like it wants me to know what it's thinking, and it doesn't beat around the bush if it doesn't have to. So I do keep it with me, and it's like if I want someone to be telling me the truth, it tends to be that deck. So this is the Zodiac Tarot. I have the full-size version, but when they introduced the tin size version, I jumped on it because I really like this deck. This is another case where I feel like it's a deck that it's very Rider-Waite-Smith inspired, almost a clone deck, but because the figures and the characters feel a little bit more modern, even though they are wearing, you know, crowns and things like that, I feel like if you're reading for other people, it feels a little bit more, you know, maybe a little more accessible. Obviously, everybody has trouble with the devil card, but I do feel like this is a really it's a pretty deck. It's because the coloring is much brighter and more modern, and it has the black backgrounds, so the colors really pop, that it's a good one to read with other people. Wow. For whatever reason, the Seven of Swords was upside down. But yeah, so I just love this strength card. But yeah, this would be the other option. So on any given day, like particularly if I'm traveling, I will have one of these 3 decks on me. They're also easy decks for me to do sort of my daily card pull. So yes, I will be a traitor to whatever deck I'm actually using for the month and pull these in instead. And surprisingly, I don't have any oracles here. Like sometimes when I travel, I will take whatever deck I'm working with for the month with me, and just throw it in my, you know, my carry-on along with my, you know, my iPad or whatever. But yeah, so these are most of it. I'm sure I'll think of something else when I get off this video and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't remember to include such and such. I mean, there's the obvious bits that most people in the modern age would have on their person: an iPhone or some other smartphone device, an iPad potentially, and, you know, like jokingly, you know, their coffee mug, you know, water bottle of choice. But yeah, so for the most part, I feel like I can be fairly well summed up. Oh, one of the things, I do wear a necklace with a squirrel on it, and I suppose that would be the thing that would also appear in my loot drop as something squirrely. I don't know if they're my totem animal or my spirit animal or what, but I really like squirrels, and so that would probably also be in my loot drop. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. This was a really fun tag. I was really looking forward to doing it as soon as I saw it, but I've had a bit of a busy week, so today was the first opportunity I had to do it. So thanks very much to Dawn Michelle for pointing this out, and for everyone else who has participated in it. I've watched several other videos by people, both video game fans and not, who all wanted to sort of play along. So thanks again. I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.